Hello students, today we will study about ribosomes. So these are small in size, having a size of 20 nanometer in diameter. So they are very small in size and they have a size of about 20 nanometer in diameter. Now ribosomes, these are found in eukaryote and in prokaryotes both. So these ribosomes, they will be present in plant, animals and prokaryotic bacteria everywhere. So these are found in eukaryotic cell and prokaryotic cell. Now some ribosomes, they are free floating, they are found freely in the cytoplasm. Some ribosomes are free in the cytoplasm, and some are attached to the rough endoplasmic reticulum. We call it as bound ribosomes. So the ribosomes that are bounded to the endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum, these are called as bound ribosomes. Now there are two different types of ribosome. One is 70S and another one is 80S. 70S ribosomes, these are found in prokaryotic cell, and 80S ribosomes, they are found in eukaryotic cell. So when I say 70S and 80S, the S here, it stands for a unit called Swedberg unit, or you can also call it as sedimentation coefficient. So this means that at what rate the ribosomes, when we centrifuge it, it will settle down or it will sediment. This S, it represents that. So we know that a larger particle, when we centrifuge it will accumulate at the bottom because they have higher density, isn't it? So here you need to remember the unit, the S for what it stands for, that is Swedberg unit or the sedimentation coefficient. Now each ribosome, whether it will be a prokaryote or eukaryote, whether it will be a 70S or 80S, each ribosomes, they consist of two subunits. They contain two subunits, one large subunit and another one is small subunit. So there's another difference in prokaryote and eukaryote. The ribosomes that are present in prokaryotes, that is in 70S type, the larger subunit is 50S and the smaller subunit is 30S. Students, remember here we are not doing addition. 30 and 50, we are not adding it. These are just a unit. Okay. So in prokaryotes, 70S will contain 50S large subunit and 30S small subunit. And in case of 80S, that is present in eukaryote, the 80S will contain large subunit as 60S and small subunit as 40S. Next, as I said that eukaryotes, they contain 80S type of ribosome, but there are some exceptions also. They also contain 70S ribosomes in mitochondria and chloroplast of the eukaryotic cell. So the mitochondria and the chloroplast of eukaryotic cell, they contain 70S type of ribosome, and this, it suggests that the mitochondria and the chloroplast of eukaryotes, they are somewhat related to the prokaryotic cell, isn't it? Since they have the ribosomes common between both of them. Both of them have 70S ribosomes. So there is somewhat, they are somewhat related. Now these ribosomes, they are made up of approximately equal amount of RNA and protein. So ribosomes are made up of RNA and protein, and so we call it as ribonucleoproteins. We call it as ribonucleoproteins. The RNA of the ribosomes, they are the ribosomal RNA, that is the RNA. So the RNA that is present in the ribosome is the ribosomal RNA, rRNA. We have different types of RNA, tRNA, mRNA, rRNA. So here the RNA is ribosomal RNA, that is rRNA. And it is synthesized in the nucleoli. We have studied in nucleus that these are synthesized in the nucleoli. Now this ribosome, they are known as protein factory because they help in formation of protein and they help in the process of translation. So translation, students, I have explained this in first chapter, that is the central dogma of life. What happens? DNA, from DNA we get RNA, DNA gets transcribed to RNA and the process is transcription. From RNA, protein are formed and the process is called translation. So this RNA, from RNA we are getting protein, right? So they help in the process of, ribosomes help in the process of translation. See here, students, this is our mRNA. This is our mRNA. This is our small subunit, the smaller subunit of ribosome, and this is our larger subunit of ribosome. Now what happens during translation? This mRNA, the messenger RNA, they contain the information to synthesize which protein. They contain the code, they contain the information. And what happens? This message, it is read by this ribosome. So the ribosome, it reads the message on the mRNA, and one more RNA is there, that is tRNA. tRNA will pick up the amino acid. We know that for protein synthesis we need amino acids. Amino acids are the building block of protein. So tRNA will help to pick up, to bring the amino acid and run in the mRNA and run in this mRNA. And this mRNA, they contain the code, and this code is, this message is read by the ribosomes, and accordingly the amino acid, it joins and it forms the protein. So these are the amino acids, and this whole chain is growing peptide chain, protein chain, this chain. So they are synthesizing the protein. Now here you can see this line is mRNA and these are our ribosomes. So what happens when many ribosomes are bound to a single mRNA template? They form polyribosomes. When many ribosomes are bounded to a single mRNA, it will form a polyribosome, and this will then undergo the process of translation as we have seen, and they will then form the protein from this mRNA. From this mRNA they will form the protein, as we have studied in our here. So we can say that ribosomes, they play an important role in protein synthesis.